Well, the short answer is it is a compaction of my full name, Joshua Smotherman, J.Smo. But to go more in depth, actually, my partner in B.U.N.K.S, bringing up National Knowledge and Sound, my group, his name is also Joshua. And we've been friends since we were like 10 years old. So growing up, instead of people calling us Josh, well, for a while people would call us Josh, and we'd both turn around and answer, and people would laugh. But that got old after a while, right? So by the time we were teenagers or whatever, people called us Smo and Grow. We were like the inseparable duo. So Smo and Grow. How did I get started in hip hop? Good question. I don't really know. I've always loved it. The first tape I bought was a hip hop tape. I was 6 years old. I lived in small town Lynchburg, Tennessee. Yes, the home of Jack Daniels. For those that are like, Lynchburg, I've heard of that place. I don't know why or how. All I know is that I've always been drawn to it. The culture, not just the music, but the culture, everything it stands for, everything it comes from, the struggle, the movement, the action, the engagement, the community. All of it. It's more than just music for me, but we used to write songs in all kinds of different genres, and then thanks to the digital, or not digital, but the technological revolution, we were able to get equipment we couldn't afford. Like the pieces of hardware, we were able to get the software though, and so then I got Fruity Loops was the first thing I learned. I started making beats. Then we started getting VST instruments and Cubase and Pro Tools. I went to school for production. So I got to learn like professional equipment as well as just home studio equipment. But I really don't know how it came to hip hop. It's just hip hop has always been a part of my life. And when we were doing music, we were doing all these different genres because we were in a place where hip hop wasn't the thing, even though it was my thing and always has been my thing. I guess I felt like I couldn't be a hip hop artist because I wasn't from the city or whatever. But at some point in my life, I just said, screw it, this is what I want to do, this is me, and I'm going to just do me. So that's my story with hip-hop. That's probably one of the hardest questions to answer, period. How would you describe my sound? I don't know. It is, when I sit down and make music, I just whatever comes out and feels good. You got the groove, the beat, and then you sit there and you manipulate sounds until they just sound right and mesh well. I don't know. I'm heavily influenced by the golden era, by the classic era of hip hop, boom bap. I'm influenced by all genres. I used to be in a metal band. I did the new metal band thing for a while, for like a year, and then I left that to go strictly hip hop. When I decided to go hip hop, I gave up everything else I was doing and just said hip hop is the way I'm going to go. And then I don't know how you describe my sound though. It's me. It's the J.Smo sound for sure. It's B.U.N.K.S. It's bringing up much noise, knowledge, and sound. Life, the human experience. So all the music I listen to, all the books I read, all the things I see, all the people I meet, all the stories I hear, all the stories I live. That's it, man. But if you want like artists, I learned to play guitar to the classic rock era and the blues, from all eras of blues. I learned guitar from everything from Robert Johnson all the way up to Stevie Ray Vaughan. I learned to play a lot of Hendrix songs. Led Zeppelin was dope when I was into that. Then it got into, I was always into hip-hop, so MC Hammer was like one of the first tapes I ever bought. There was 69 Boys and it was Naughty by Nature, Biggie, Pac, got into all that. Outkast was huge in my life. Jurassic 5, Black Alicious. But I would say Atmosphere is probably like the one group that I connected with the most when I was a music fan. But I would say now, like, I don't really listen. Since I'm a music blogger and everything, I just listen to what people send me. I don't go out looking for music. Like, there's so much music in my life. I don't ever sit down and listen to a record anymore just because I want to listen to a record. It's usually something somebody sent me and I'm listening to it for like business purposes or to review it for my blog or to give someone advice on it or critique on the mix or the production quality. So like music is just my life, man. I'm always hearing music. I'm always getting new music and all of that influences me. All of it. Easy. I sit down and I start playing things and punching through sounds and turning knobs until I create something that I feel and makes me do this. And then when I write, I just write. I seriously, like, I'll free write, and then I'll find like if I see a theme forming or some type of story coming out, then I'll run with it. But a lot of times I'll write and throw it away and then write again. If I don't feel the verse or the hook or any of that, I'll throw everything away and start from scratch. So what's my process like? I just sit down and do it. So Purgatory is really cool because I've always wanted to work with a live band, but for this project, it's a collection of songs where I have sampled, remixed, or collaborated directly with live musicians, live bands. And so it's, as far as hip hop goes, it's got a lot of like boom bap influence in the drums, a lot of deep south drum stuff going on since I'm from Tennessee, and that 3/6 Mafia deep bass thing is my thing. Yeah, Purgatory is a collection, is like my hip hop drum production and rhythms on with a amalgamation of different sounds from various genres. I worked with, each song is with a different band from a different location all across the world: the UK, Australia, Canada, Wisconsin, Tennessee. That's what Purgatory is all about. Man, there's a lot that's next, but 2017 is going to be a lot more activity, a lot more engagement directly with the community. Talking about events, networking events, shows, going to conferences. I'm going to be out a lot more. My kids are grown up now; they're in school 8 hours a day now, so I don't have to necessarily be the dependable, reliable stay-at-home daddy anymore. I can actually get out into the world and start being my own individual again. So that's what's next, and of course more music. I'm sitting on a solo album that nobody even knows about. So plus I'm recording new stuff all the time and doing collabs with people, and I got people sending me beats now out of nowhere. People used to never send me beats, but all of a sudden I got people hit me up. They're like, "Hey, can I send you some beats? Let's do a collab." I'm like, okay. So I'm getting into that. I'm trying to do a lot of collabs because that's the best way to network and build relationships with other artists. Don't quit your day job, like for real. It's a new world, man. No one is going to come discover you and hand you a deal anymore. You got to find your audience. You got to build it yourself. You got to learn yourself. You got to educate yourself. You got to inform yourself. You got to rise above. You got to jump in and take every opportunity you can just for the experience, whether it's a good experience or a bad experience. Because let me tell you something. I used to work on Music Row in Nashville in a cushy office with a desk. I had my own credit card. I got to go in hotels and travel around and work on apps that were going to be released with Taylor Swift's new album and things like that. Whatever. I left all that to be right here in my house with my kids and my wife and do music and build a blog and build a publishing, administration, digital distribution company that works with the artists I want to work with, or that my team wants to work with. It's not just me. I got a team of people. But I mean, you got to hustle. You got to be an entrepreneur. You got to educate yourself. You got to be a self-starter, straight up. Like, I guess at the end of the day, out of all the things I just said and ranted on about or whatever, you got to be a self-starter. If you can't get off your own ass and make yourself learn what you got to learn, find out about the business, find out how to get licensed, find out how to record a top quality production. If you can't get up off your ass and do that yourself, then you're never going to make it. I'm out. Peace.
What have I gotten myself into?
I need music.
What am I do now?
I hear nothing at all.
I don't